Alright, so welcome back to another Two Brothers review, and this time we're doing the Mortal Kombat games. So a couple things before we begin. Neither of us have played Sub-Zero or Special Forces, so those won't be on here.
Heard those games are trash, though.
So it's just going to be the 12-man entries plus Shaolin Monks. And we're also not doing every version of every game. It's not going to be MK3, UMK3 and Trilogy, it's just going to be Trilogy, so things like that. And also for me, since I haven't played the post-XL games because of reasons, I'm just going to be evaluating those two on the story.
Cool.
Alright, so as always, we'll let Tanner begin.
I think this one's pretty obvious, the first one. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Yes.
This game sucks. I'm sorry, this game flat out sucks. The biggest question is why? I get the whole merger with Warner Brothers Studios and all that. You want to bring in DC characters. You don't make a Mortal Kombat game T-rated, though. That was their first mistake. And the characters just look bad. The best things we got about this game were Richard Epcar as Raiden and Patrick Steeds as Scorpion. That was about it. Other than that, this game, the fatalities suck. You don't really get killed in the game. Dark Khan is kind of stupid, but this game just sucks.
Yeah. So pretty much what you said. Yeah, I know they wanted to compete with the whole Marvel vs. Capcom series, but doesn't really work for Mortal Kombat, like you said. It's of course they had I guess it kind of works because Superman is vulnerable to magic, so I guess it's a way to nerf him for the game. So I guess it kind of works. One good thing about this though is it gave a story mode.
True, and it did lead into the Injustice games.
Yeah.
So you got to give it that.
Yeah. So just introducing the story mode, I think was pretty good because I think this was like the first major fighting game to have a story mode.
I think so.
So now it's kind of standard, which is nice because I like these games for that reason anyway. The gameplay is cool and everything, but I'm all about the lore and the story and everything. That's what I really love about games in general. So yeah, I agree. 13 MK versus DCU.
All right. So number 12, I have Mortal Kombat 4/Gold.
Yep.
You too?
Yeah.
All right, cool. This was kind of introductory to the 3D fighting era genre. This is like a prototype for what was to come. The characters were cool character selection. There wasn't really like a story to it, like leading into it, like you said, with like the story mode and everything. No like other modes besides just doing the ladders and get the endings. That's about it. None of the endings, you don't know which was true, which wasn't true. The fighting was okay. The best part about this game was the gibberish. Oh, I'm going to throw you over there. I never figured out how to get the weapons. Yeah, just, not terrible. I mean, terrible for introducing the 3D fighter genre, but, Gold was a little bit better because of the character selection. But do we really need two different consoles to get every single character? Like, come on.
Yeah. The transition to 3D was kind of rough. This isn't really. The models are 3D, but it's more like 2.5D. You can do 3D, but you have to do special moves. And yeah, having the weapons as a special move instead of like just a separate fighting style. I'm glad they fixed that later. Weapons weren't really special though. They kind of didn't add much. It was a nice concept, further developed and done much better in subsequent games, but really primitive here. One of the things I really don't like when it comes to Gold, there were two versions on the Dreamcast, the yellow disc and the red disc. The older one, the yellow disc, the one we have, you can't save the game. So if you go and beat the arcade with all the characters, get all the endings, you can't save that. Oh. Yeah, you have to redo it each time you pop the disc in.
That's stupid.
Yeah, so that was that. But yeah, it's more of the more forgotten entries for a reason, I think.
Yeah. Number 11, I have Mortal Kombat 1, the original Mortal Kombat 1, so the very first game. This is the game that started it all. There's nothing much to it, like you have to enter in the code, the A, B, A, C, A, B, B, which is a really nice
Get over here.
Which is a really nice Easter egg in Mortal Kombat 1, the new one. That's going to take some getting used to. You had your limited selection of characters. The characters were cool. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Sonya, everybody in that variety. Different types of endings. Again, going based off, you don't really know which one was true or not. But, good introduction to the fighting genre. Goro being all claymation and everything like that. So, yeah, good little intro.
All right, so at 11, I have Mortal Kombat 11. So, like I said, since I haven't played the new ones, I'm ranking just based on story. And oh man, if you saw my review of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, you know how I feel about time travel stories. You either have to do branching timelines like Dragon Ball and MCU, or it has to be like all self-contained, like in Prisoner of Azkaban. So the way that she brings the from the past into the future, and if you hurt someone on the past version, it affects their things. So yeah, I don't like time travel in general, so that does it for me. And then basically, the thing that really gets me is they just it was just an excuse to reset the thing. They didn't really develop where they were from the end of the last game. I was hoping for more development, and they just kind of that's just set up for a reboot. And it's like,
so my biggest thing with this game, I think, Chronica's boring. I'm sorry, Chronica's very boring. I'm really glad they added the DLC with the Aftermath with Shang Tsung and everything, but I really wish they had expanded more on Dark Raiden, because at the beginning of the game, in that first cutscene, it looks like he's going to be the guy, and you're going to be like, oh crap, this is who I'm going to end up having to fight, and then nerfed, just like that. So I think that's my biggest thing with this game, besides some of the voice actors being changed, but we'll get into that later. You'll see a theme here. I have Mortal Kombat Trilogy. This is kind of like what Armageddon turns into, or what turns into Armageddon in a way, if you will, if that makes any sense of what I just said. Like a prelude to Armageddon. How am I trying to say this? You can fight as every character thus far in the game is kind of what I'm trying to get at. I didn't really understand too much of a story. Again, I don't think there really was. I think this is just a combination of all three games combined. And it was fun. I mean, you could play as Shao Kahn, Goro, Kintaro, all those characters, but yeah. I guess I'm just a little biased because I've grown up with this newer generation of like the 2.5D fighting style games. So yeah.
So at 10, I have Mortal Kombat 1992.
Okay, the first one.
Yeah, the debut game. And man, I remember just being at my cousin's house playing this game, and then I hear, "Get over here!" And it's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And watching the gameplay, and just like that's where it started. All the original characters, and just the classic place where it all began.
Absolutely.
So Cage, Kano, Raiden, Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya, and now they just start a whole franchise. Goro being such a cool sub-boss, and how Shang Tsung can just change into everybody. And then when you get the guy treat books and things and learn about how to get fight Reptile, how cool when you finally pull that one off.
Yeah, I forgot about the Reptile thing.
Yeah. And then interesting to see how some of the characters changed. Like in this first game, Raiden is just a god who's invited to the thing, and in his ending, he invites other gods, and they end up destroying the world.
Right?
And it's like, they kind of changed.
See what I mean by not knowing which ending's true?
Yep. But yeah, it's where it all starts, so you got to give it props for that. I play this a lot on the Genesis. So.
Yeah, we did play this a lot on Genesis. And we definitely played the next one a lot on the Genesis of my number 9, which is Mortal Kombat 2. So we played this on the Genesis, and we also played it on the Shaolin Monks, because this game came with Shaolin Monks installed on it. And I think it was like better character selection. Shao Kahn is introduced. You can fight as Shang Tsung. Poor guy gets demoted to a playable character. We meet Kintaro. So, new character, like I said. We get Reptile as playable. The Katana and Melina. Jax. And then just, like I said, Kung Lao. Just a slew of new characters. And it's just the graphics are greatly improved. The gameplay is greatly improved. Some of the fatalities are better. The stage fatalities are better. You can fight Smoke, Jade, and and I think Noob Saibot, or is that Mortal Kombat 3? You can fight Noob Saibot?
Yeah, you
okay.
get 50 wins in a row or 25 on Genesis.
Okay, and that was before the whole he's Bihan thing and everything like that. So
yeah, we didn't know that.
We didn't know that. So just a cool little prelude to everything to come later on, like 3 and beyond. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So 9, I have Deadly Alliance.
Okay.
Yeah. So transition to full 3D. Every character has 3 fighting styles, and for most of them, the third one's a weapon. So they fixed the weapon combat system. So instead of having to get a special move to pull it out, you just switch to the style.
Yep.
And yeah, the way they improve the graphics and everything. So really, about the only major drawbacks are like each character only has like 1 fatality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. The only finisher is the fatality. So we've been used to putting different kinds of finishers in, but so yeah, and yeah, it's fun. Warlock being so hard, having to always switch to Johnny Cage and use the spam the nunchuck move just to beat him and have to switch back to another character to finish the game.
Or we could go to Jax and spam the gun move.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember having to do that a lot.
And I remember I actually did do unlock the full crypt. How much effort that took to get all the coins for that, and introducing the conquest mode.
Conquest was cool.
Yeah, so that way you learn all the fighter's moves, and it also fleshes out the story and everything. This is when they really started to take the lore more seriously and could really develop it within new hardware and everything.
Definitely, characters had actual like alternate costumes and everything. Yeah, definitely cool.
Yeah, I think probably my favorite little Easter egg was you can unlock the whole Mortal Kombat 1 comic book in the crypt. That was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the influential Deadly Alliance, number 9.
So kind of piggybacking off of that, my number 8 is Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Like you said, really cool. The conquest mode introduced like more of the lore, everything like that. God, those combos were so difficult though. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is the first game where we didn't get to play as Liu Kang, and so far, and still the only game where we don't get to play as Liu Kang. Like that was, I think that was the biggest shock.
Yeah, kill off the main character in the opening cutscene.
Yeah, it's like, well, what now? We didn't really have a main character for Mortal Kombat 5, which I thought was kind of cool. I like that concept of it, but they eventually obviously brought back Liu Kang. So, yeah, but not much else to add on to what you said.
Okay. Number 8, I have Armageddon.
Okay.
I really do like Armageddon. Major selling point, which is that every character ever is playable. Too bad we got the PS2 version before the Wii one came out, and we didn't get to play the other Chameleon. But
yeah.
So yeah, that's its main selling point. The Conquest mode is pretty fun.
Conquest mode was improved.
Yeah. So the way they fleshed the story out in Conquest mode is pretty good. My biggest gripe with Armageddon was I feel like they rushed it too much, and so they really skimped out on the story. So most of the story was like a character bios. They weren't in the game. Not every character got one, and most of them that were, you had to get them online.
Yeah.
And only a few characters got them. So they really didn't flesh out the stories. So they didn't really explain how a lot of these dead characters were able to come back and everything. So that kind of
I feel like this one was kind of rushed.
It was. So yeah, I feel like if they could have spent more time on it and fleshed out the lore, it would have been
because I know at that point they were releasing Mortal Kombat games every 2 years.
Yep.
So I get it. So for my number 7, I actually continue to piggyback off of this. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Yeah, the Conquest mode was good. I don't think I ever finished it though. But that was years ago. Taven and Dagon, this is the only time that we've ever seen them. I don't think we're ever going to see them again. They create a character. That was really cool. Really, really unique. You do all kinds of ridiculous combos. Like, we made, like Goku, the Ninja Turtle, Shredder. All kinds of just ridiculous things. You can name your own fighting style and your own weapons and everything, which I thought was a really cool concept. Each character, they dumbed it down, or not dumbed down, but they toned it down to each one getting one fighting style and a weapon. So I thought that was kind of cool instead of trying to figure out combos for 3 different fighting styles.
All right. So number 7, I have Mortal Kombat XL.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I should put X or XL, but
yeah, I just put XL because that way it includes all the DLC and whatnot.
It's all the same.
Yeah. But yeah, first of all, the gameplay is great. It's really on point in this game. I love the the way they did it, like the brutalities and whatnot, or instead of a separate thing, it's how you finish the fight is how you get the brutality.
And that's been a recurring theme since that game, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fatalities were on point.
It's probably one of the smoothest games that we've ever had as a Mortal Kombat fighting game.
Yeah. My main problem with it is story, because the way they set up the previous game, you were thinking, oh, this is going to be all about the fight with Shinnok and everything like that, and how they're going to do like from Mortal Kombat 4 onwards, and then that's over as a flashback in the first chapter, and then it's this new thing with a whole bunch of new characters 20 years later, and you have the combat kids and everything, and then Shinnok shows up at the very end, and it's like, yeah, and it's just too bad they could had a chance to redo Shinnok and do him right, because this is the guy who should be an awesome villain.
Yes,
and he's never been
wasted potential.
Yes,
very wasted potential.
Yeah, it's like Shao Kahn is so much better than Shinnok as a villain, and just like
for no reason.
Shinnok should just be so awesome, and he's not.
Yeah, so. he's a god.
Yeah,
like if you look at that ending and his ending in Tanya's ending in Mortal Kombat 4, he's like menacing. Like he just straight up kills Liu Kang just by looking at him. Like he should be way more menacing than he is.
So, yeah, great gameplay. Lackluster on the story though is my feeling about the game.
Fair enough. My number 6, I have Mortal Kombat 6, Deception. This game was awesome. I wish it were higher on the list, but like I said, bias. I'm biased because I've played every single one of these games, and I love every single one of these games. Don't get me wrong, but Deception was cool. This was the best conquest mode by far out of any conquest mode we've ever gotten. This was it. Shujinko's a cool character. He's kind of like the main character, if you will. They bring back Liu Kang as a zombie for whatever reason. Raiden, this is the first scene of Dark Raiden. This has the best Sub-Zero costume in the entire franchise.
Tonight he dines on turtle soup.
Exactly. He just looks awesome. New characters, bunch of new characters. This goes for Unchained as well. So because it was released later for the PSP. So you can play as Shao Kahn in the PSP version and a couple other characters that aren't in the PlayStation version. What else? Chess combat, motor combat, puzzle combat, all the other modes that are just in the game. This game was elite. We spent hours on this game. This game was so fun.
All right, number 6, I have Mortal Kombat 1, the new one.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, so I'm making mostly on story, and it starts out really great, but I'm really tired of multiverse. Yeah, how everyone's just doing multiverse now, and it's like I am just exhausted on it. I just wish they had just developed the new timeline fully. As far as doing a multiverse story, it was they did it fun. I think they did it right.
I think they did it right too.
Still, it's just like, couldn't you just have done this timeline and really focused on lore this time instead of just piggybacking on all the multiverse stuff? So yeah, it's not that it was a bad story. I really enjoyed it, but I'm just tired of multiverse. And then Megan Fox.
Oh my gosh!
All the voice acting is so awesome, and then you have Natara, and it's just like, Megan, you're really phoning that in, aren't you?
They had to get another voice actress to do Natara's screams and whatnot during the fighting. So that's not Megan Fox during the screaming and all that during the actual fights. So
yeah, but yeah, overall, I loved a lot of the new changes in timeline, the twist they put on. People used to say, "Oh, Scorpion Sub-Zero brothers, right?" Like, no, they're not brothers. Now they are. So yeah, that's a thing now.
I thought that was really cool how they did that.
Yeah, and how we finally get King Jared back because he takes over Ermac.
I was very surprised when I saw that.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of things like, oh, that should have been Katana's moment. That should have been Katana's moment. Shut up. This is a new timeline.
But yeah, so good story. I just wish people would back off of multiverse. I've kind of had my fill of multiverse.
Yeah. Number 5, I have Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. God, this game was awesome. We spent so many hours on this game. We did every little thing in this game. This needs a remaster or a sequel or both. I don't care what. But this game was so fun. you could play as Liu Kang or Kung Lao. I mean, we put in the cheat for the night we got it. Played as Scorpion and Sub-Zero, going through all the realms, fighting all the bosses, all the hidden bosses and everything, going through it. Oh, God, this game was so good. So fun.
All right, so number 5, I have Mortal Kombat Unchained, so Deception Unchained. So, yeah, so like you said, the best conquest mode out of any game we have gotten. The way they use that to really develop the story, and you play through it as Shujenku, and you see all the things that were going on behind the scenes for the earlier games and all that. Yeah, that was awesome. And then the gameplay is so smooth; it runs so well. They fixed what issues there were with Deadly Alliance, I think. Extra fatality, and that we have Harakiri, so you can beat your opponent to the punch and finish yourself off, so you don't get the pleasure of finishing you. Yeah, it's just super fun. Bring back a lot of the classic characters who hadn't been seen for a couple of games, like Sindel, Tanya, Jade. They've been missing for a while, so they brought them back. It was nice. And yeah, and bring back Liu Kang because he was missing, and his Raiden reanimates him as a zombie, as his personal enforcer. And then you have, in Conquest mode, you find his ghost, Spirit Liu, who trained you in the forest. Yeah, it's just, like you said, chess combat, puzzle combat, great alternate modes. It's just so fun. This was just such a well-done game.
I think so, too.
And they made the crypt more manageable. They cut down the number of coffins. So there weren't so many empties like were in Delions. There were more empties, so they just cut it down. It was just so much more manageable.
Yeah. My number 4, I have Mortal Kombat 11. I did like the story. Yes, Dark Raiden got nerfed. Yes, Chronica is boring. The story was good. I liked the crypt. The crypt in this game, they bring it back. It's Shang Tsung's island, and I think that is so cool how they did. They got Kerry Tagawa to do Shang Tsung in this game, which I thought does not need to be ever replaced because he is Shang Tsung and he's just so good at the role. You can get Shao Kahn as DLC at a pre-order, which I did. My least favorite character in this entire series is Deborah. I don't like Deborah.
No, like Deborah.
Nobody likes Deborah, and I'm so glad they got rid of her in the new timeline. The Aftermath timeline was great. Or the Aftermath DLC was great, which was very much needed. But it's nice to see that both, spoiler alert, it's nice to see that both endings are canon for Shang Tsung and Liu Kang. And that kind of leads into Mortal Kombat 1. But the gameplay of this is good. One of the only things I don't like about this game is that you don't have all your moves with one character. There's different variations, and each variation has its own special moveset. And I didn't like that. So, but other than that, the gameplay is really good. I like the story. Yeah. So that's about all I got for MK11.
All right, so number 4, I have Shaolin Monks.
Okay.
Yeah, the action-adventure game, and this was just so fun. Going through Outworld as Liu Kang, Kung Lao, going in-depth to the retelling of MK2, and that's such a great game, and really just play through and get all the upgrades, new abilities, the hidden boss fights, all that, just checking every corner, get all the coins, get 100%, and it was just so much fun. I would love if they could, if they had to release the sequels or more games like this, because Mortal Kombat has great lore, great characters, and it really should be explored more.
A PlayStation 5 remaster of this game would be so good. I would buy it in a heartbeat. Number 3, I have Mortal Kombat XL. X or XL, whatever you want to call it. This was probably the smoothest, up to the point, the smoothest fighting game we've ever had, if still not the smoothest fighting game we've had in the Mortal Kombat franchise. Steve Blum is introduced as Sub-Zero. He's the voice of Sub-Zero, and he's just perfect for the role. Patrick Seitz is still a good Hanzo Hasashi Scorpion. I like that they brought him back to life, that they kind of reconciled their differences and became friends. And, we get a bunch of new characters, like you said, the next kids up, Cassie Cage, Jackie Briggs, and all of them. The ending was kind of lackluster, though. I do got to admit that, with the whole Shinnok thing and everything. Could have made him a lot better. But I was really excited for Dark Raiden, and then they got rid of him. But not much else to add from what you said earlier. So yeah.
All right. Number 3, Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay.
Yes, the original sequel, and they took everything in the first game and just doubled it, made it better. Yeah, if we go to Outworld this time, and the backgrounds are so awesome, it just expands the series lore.
Mm-hmm.
Doubling the fatality. Each character now has 2 fatalities. Bringing in friendships. I could have done without fatalities, but but yeah, the friendships were funny, and poking fun of the whole controversy of Mortal Kombat being too violent type thing. And then of course the Shang Tsung playable now, and then give us a new Sub-Zero, but you don't find that out unless you either read the comic book or beat the game with him. This is actually the younger brother. And then Jade, Smoke, Noob Saibot, excellent hidden fighters. Bringing Katana, Melina, Baraka, Jax, just classic characters that making their debut. Yeah, and then Big Baddie himself, Shao Kahn, his first appearance here, and how difficult he was and how difficult Kintaro was. The AI in this game was so unforgiving and so cheap. It was something else.
It was rough.
Yeah, but yeah, excellent lore, excellent gameplay, a true classic Mortal Kombat 2.
So my number 2 is Mortal Kombat 1, the newest one. The first Mortal Kombat game that I have ever gotten the Platinum Trophy for. I really, really enjoyed this game. Like, the fighting of it, the story mode was good. I liked that you could pick your character on the last chapter. I thought that was really cool, and all the unique combinations of different characters that you fight. And then eventually Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, which Quan Chi should have been in the base game and not DLC, but that's my own opinion. Ermac looks bad. I'm sorry. Ermac looks terrible in this game. I'm glad they kind of transitioned him to being King Jared. Like you said, the first half of the story is fantastic. Like, it's just a friendly competition between realms. Raiden's new champion. I do whatever happened to the great Kung Lao that made him not the champion that we were expecting for this game. Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers. Smoke is there too. I like Smoke. I've always liked Smoke. Reptile is cool. They greatly improved Reptile. Mm-hmm. He was so awesome in this game. Melina and Katana are actual sisters in this game. This game has cameo characters, so it's like a secondary character in the game, and some of the combinations are just cheap, and you can just milk it, and it's crazy. They actually just had to nerf Cyrax and Baraka, actually. But this game introduces Invasions mode, which is like a combination of the Crypt and Conquest mode, which I thought was really, really cool. You can go to all the different areas like Sundo, the Wuxi Academy, Tarkatan Colony, all these different places in between Earthrealm and Outworld, and I had so much fun with this game besides grinding for 40 hours to get the cameo for 5 mastery characters. That was just ridiculous. That's my only complaint about this game. Fix the cameo XP.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention that I did like is like all the endings are canon now. Like, instead of contradicting each other, they all work together now. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're finally doing a coherent story. We'll see if they keep with it, because so far NetherRealm's policy with the new games is to forget what happened in the old one, go completely out the rails. But
and it's smart to do the story mode before you do all the towers and get all the endings. So, but that's just me.
All right, so number 2, Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Okay.
Yes, I remember when I got this on Christmas and looked at the back of the box, and there's the character select screen, and see down there at the bottom. Oh, there's Goro, Motaro. It's all the bosses. You can play as the boss in this game. You can play as everyone's here. And in the PlayStation version, you have the alternate versions of certain characters, like the MK2 Kung Lao and MK1 Raiden.
MK2 Jax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when we got this, and then we just went over to our cousins for Christmas like we used to do. I brought the game over, and we all just played the heck out of that game all Christmas night long. Yeah, and every character, two fatalities, friendships, still so much fun. Introducing the animalities. Yeah,
I wish they would bring animalities back. Yeah, that's just me personally.
Yeah, animalities were awesome. Could have done without fatalities and brutalities. Those are boring, but whatever.
Yeah, they vastly improved on the brutalities later on.
Yeah, but so being able to play every character up to that point, and the gameplay was so smooth at least for a PlayStation game. You still have to load and everything, but it was still just so much fun. We played this game so much, and
we spent hours on this game.
So which is funny thing about this. If we had ranked every version of every game, this would have been right here, and the original MK3 would have been at the very bottom.
Yeah. Biggest reason, just the lack of characters. Like, where was Scorpion?
Where was Scorpion? How do you make a Mortal Kombat game without Scorpion?
Yeah. And they never made that mistake again.
Yeah. But I love Trilogy. It's just my second favorite Mortal Kombat game. It was so well done. It's just such a classic. I love that.
Nice. So obviously we had the same number one.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat 9.
Which was our representative for the series in our favorite video games video, so y'all already knew this was coming if you watched that one.
This game was so good. This was the reset that it needed. Like, it starts off at the end of Armageddon, Raiden's about to die, and just reset. I loved it. I thought it was so good. The gameplay was so good. The characters were so good. Cyber Sub-Zero, we don't talk about Cyber Sub-Zero. Everything about this game was so good. It introduced us to guest DLC characters. It brought in Freddy Krueger, which I thought was cool, which would later lead to like Alien, Predator, Joker, Terminator, Spawn, who should have been in a Mortal Kombat game years ago. This game was so good. I like catch myself going back watching like videos of this game, and it's just so good.
Yeah, so just a reboot, and it covers like the original trilogy, which is my favorite era of Mortal Kombat. So the way they retold that with new twists and turns and everything, smoke escaping, but Sub-Zero, so now there's a twist on it, and things you didn't expect to happen now happen. Like, and we learned early on that Ubisoft is Bihan, so that's no longer something we had to wait till Deception to find out.
Yeah,
just revealed right away. So they reincorporated that. Of course, there were things people didn't like Luke Kang being killed right out there at the end after Sindel single-handedly kills every single character. It's like that was like the one scene that nobody liked, was Sindel just killing it, because it's Mortal Kombat and people died, and so far the only one who died was Kung Lao and Shang Tsung, so they needed to get rid of a bunch of characters. So they just had her kill everybody, being way overpowered. But the gameplay was awesome. I do wish there had been more DLC. There was only one combat pack.
Yeah, because it came. Who was in the combat pack? It was Kenshi, Scarlet, Freddy, and
Rain.
Yeah. And if you had the PlayStation version, you got Kratos.
Yeah. But this was just such a fun game. So well done for reboot. I just wish they had continued with the story more instead of just ignoring it like they did and going off and
doing their own, not their own thing. Obviously, they're their own studio, so they can do their own thing. But
just wish they kept the retelling instead of going off. But whatever. So Mortal Kombat 2011, Mortal Kombat 9, whatever you want to call it.
Yep,
the best Mortal Kombat game. Okay, so we'll take a break, do the magic of math, and then come back with combined rankings. A few moments later. Okay, so we did the magic of math. Now we have the combined rankings. Down at 13, Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. 12, Mortal Kombat Gold. 11, the original Mortal Kombat from 1992. 10, Deadly Alliance. 9 and 8 is a tie between Mortal Kombat 11 and Armageddon. 7 and 6, a tie between Mortal Kombat Trilogy and Mortal Kombat 2. And 5, we have Mortal Kombat Unchained. 4, Mortal Kombat XL. 3, Shaolin Monks. 2, Mortal Kombat 1, the new one. And in first place, Mortal Kombat, the 2011 Mortal Kombat 9, whatever you want to call it. So we were a lot more in sync with our rankings on Mortal Kombat than we have been with some of our other lists. So our biggest difference was Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was a difference of 8 places. We had exact matches on Mortal Kombat Gold, which we had in 12th place. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, which we will put at 13, the very bottom. And in Mortal Kombat, the 2011 game, Mortal Kombat 9, we will put that as our number 1. So I think the only other one where we had this many exact matches was our Star Wars ranking. So there's that part. Alright, so there's that. Stick around, because there will be more True Brothers Review content coming out. Later.
Bye.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff.